or at eeservices.com.
TechTime Radio is brought to you today by Military True Crime Addict.
If you are searching for a podcast about crime relating to the actual life events of military personnel, veterans, family members, and associated with the military in any way, then you've come to the right place. We welcome you to the Military True Crime Addict, where we will be exploring a plethora of actual true crime stories that have not been reported on by news outlets or media. Stories that upon hearing, you'll be astounded by. Such history should have been told and reported on long ago. There will be detailed stories from so many of you that touch on topics such as assault, harassment, sexual preference, abuse of power, PTSD, murder, hazing, rape, and all stories that in some way relate to our military, veterans, and their extended families. Here we provide voice to the victims and hear their side of the story and raise awareness of the heinous crimes to fight for those most impacted. You do not need to know anything about military to enjoy this podcast. Here, our listeners can hear original true crime stories with precise date and the specifics of what occurred.
To learn more, visit militarytruecrimeaddict.com. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, how's your inbox doing these days?
Were you talking about my email?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, don't get me started about my email. I hate my email. I get so many freaking emails a day, I just don't even know what to do with them. I sometimes don't even know how I get to my regular work.
Well, you know what? 70% of emails that you receive throughout the day are unimportant, and our focus is constantly disrupted as we spend a total of 3 to 4 hours per day in our inbox. You know what? For me, it's a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, I feel like I spend 8 hours a day on it.
But yet our inbox is the most crucial part of our business day workflow. So I got a solution for you, Mike.
Tell me.
Have you heard of InMote?
No.
Well, InMote gives users control over their inbox by enabling them to maintain focus on their email priorities and increasing productivity. InMote allows users to select their email priorities from a predefined list to create automated smart filters. Any incoming email that doesn't fit those users selected will be moved to a new folder to be reviewed at a later time. With InMote, you can have confidence that your emails in your inbox are important and worth reviewing.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yes, get back at your schedule, get back your life, get back your email. The best place to get it is at inmote.com. That's INMOAT.com. Again, go visit www.inmoat.com and get organized today.
Perfect.
We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Something off of that.
What's that? Welcome to TechTime Radio with your hosts, Nathan Mumm and Mike Corday.
And Mike.
That's right.
Mom and Mike.
Mum and Mike in the morning. That's just right. Welcome to our show.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon. All right. Welcome to TechTime Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for the everyday common person with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media.
Yeah, we seem to be
forecasting a lot of
We
stuff.
do,
aren't
yeah.
we?
All of a sudden, NFTs are all over the air, and we talked about them 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
So that's exactly how it...
Or
3 weeks ago.
3 or
It's
4 weeks.
Yeah, so we're just ahead of things. All right, welcome to our live show. We are streaming on twitch.tv/TechTime. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. And, of course, you can always get us at 1150 KKNW with the live stream or the audio only. And... you know that old traditional thing called a radio program? If you turn it to 11:50 a.m. in the Seattle area, we're on that also. So we are just broadcasting.
Is that where we are?
That's where we are, yeah.
We're in KKNW
We're
right
right
now.
after Tina Mitchell and the Money Hour. So I just
Awesome.
got done listening to her. All right. So if you want to make sure you keep up to date with all of the information, please visit us at techtimeradio.com. And you can make sure that you have the most recent information if you're watching us on a rebroadcast. Now, our website is being worked on in the May timeframe. We have a brand new website. It should be a little bit easier to
Yeah,
navigate.
you're going to have to beat those guys with a whip.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we'll also be able to see our live stream on the website too. So hopefully we get that taken care of. You know, it's supposed to be a 6-week project, and it's 12 weeks, and it's kind of like construction done at your home. You know, it just takes forever.
Did you,
and ever.
did,
And
did you
then
do a
another
project
1,000.
contract or an hourly contract?
No, we did a project contract. So good. This is
yeah.
you ever have a contractor bid out your house?
No.
10,000, and then when it comes to that date, then it's everything is like 5,000 or 10,000 renewals. It's
Yes.
never like an odd number. It's like, oh well, it'll be another 5,000.
Yeah.
Really, another 5,000?
No.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm going to get another contract.
we are a 1-hour technology show that has simple format without having to geek out. You can engage with us right now at Twitch TV /TechTime Radio. You can get on the live stream and chat with Mike and I, who are monitoring the Twitch stream. You can also reach us on the phone at 425-373-5527, or again at 1-888-298-KKNW, which is 1-888-298-5569 to be a part of the show. Or tweet away at #TechTimeRadio so we can hear from our fans. Now,
Take a breath, man.
whew, I'm going quick. Now it's time to welcome Mike Gourdet to the show. Mike is the host and co-host and producer of the podcast show, What Drives You? And so if you want to listen to that, just look for Michael J. Gourdet on YouTube, and you can go and do that, or any of the podcast stations, right?
WhatDrivesYou.net.
WhatDrivesYou.net. Perfect. And I'd love to ask how your weekend was or your week was, but I don't care, because what I care about...
Well, you do care about
I do. But what is our loaded question of the day? Here we go. If you're an artist, what would be your main subject matter?
nudes. No,
I think,
I'm kidding.
Okay, wow.
I actually-
okay, we're starting off really hot in the show. You had a commercial with some profanity.
How
and
about that?
Okay.
Well, the look on your face was priceless.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
that. Okay.
You know, I already draw.
You do draw. You draw an
Yeah,
NFT.
I doodle a lot, but I draw animals quite a bit.
You do.
Well, I used to. I don't much anymore.
do you draw owls?
I have.
Is it all about the owl?
The last one I drew was a panda bear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Congratulations. All right. Well, today on the show, we're moving ahead. We got Gwen Way, one of our producers on the show. She's back with a Gadgets and Gear segment on a new great Kickstarter. We kind of saw a little bit about it in the production meeting, so we're excited about that. And the best part about it is saving me money from not having to do the Gadgets and Gear.
Yeah.
And poor Gwen is buying all of them. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for you.
We all know that you're secretly buying them.
Oh, I may be too. All right. We also have our technology insider subject today, which we're going to be talking about companies that use racist algorithms to detect faces. Great article. This was suggested by our intern, Jin Lee, from the Seattle University College, and he was very passionate about this, and we got into a very great discussion on our production show, so we were going to put that on the air here, and we'll have some, hopefully some great banner and some news about that. And then we actually have a Nathan Nugget regarding some NFTs. So we're going to be talking about that. We have our top stories in the first 5 minutes. We're going to be talking about Fortnite. We're going to be talking about eBay collectibles, and we have another dumb criminal story. So we're going to be talking about dumb criminals. Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, yeah. Story number 2. All right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So there we go. And the most important part, we have Mike's Mesmerizing Moments, brought to you by StoriCoffee. This puts us at our chance now to go into our first segment that we have, which we have our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right. Apple says Epic's Fortnite lawsuit is a marketing stunt to receive interest regarding the game. We have some audio to listen to that essentially tells the story of what happened 7 months ago.
It's a clash of the titans, the makers of Fortnite taking a swing at Apple, appearing to deliberately break Apple's rules, Apple then pulling the game from the App Store, the game makers immediately releasing a coordinated counterattack, even taking Apple to federal court. Fortnite with 350 million users, especially beloved by kids and teens. But now, as video game usage worldwide is spiking nearly 10% since the pandemic began keeping everyone home, this morning, Fortnite is gone from the Apple App Store.
This has been brewing for quite a while. The CEO of Epic, Tim Sweeney, has been angry at both of these app stores for quite some time.
The issue? Money. And who gets to make it? Epic implementing a new in-app pay system. Apple has reportedly made more than $1 billion from Fortnite alone, but the game's latest update now cutting Apple out.
All right,
How about that?
So that's what started it. So let's talk about it. So essentially this week, Apple's details in a dual court filing. So both of them, both Epic and Apple have filed. Apple is detailing Epic had a code name, Project Liberty. I love these code names. If you're going to do something illegal, all these companies come up with code names. What is
like
with
Project?
that?
Well, because it's the same thing that movie theaters do when they do a project and spy organization.
So Project Liberty was Epic's urge. Essentially what Epic did is the app store for the game, and you've played Fortnite, so you play it more than I don't. I've played it a couple times. I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah,
so
I used to play with my son.
Okay,
who was Major League awesome at it.
He was really good at it.
Oh yeah, he was. I stood no chance. That's a proud papa moment there.
Is it? That's like me playing my kids at Age of Empires.
When your kids wipe you out really fast, it's awesome.
It's awesome. Okay, so good papa moment.
Angry
at the same time.
Yeah, you get angry, but it's awesome.
So essentially, what happened is previously Apple Store and Google Play Store, they would have the in-game promotions for skins, different items that would be, and they would charge about $9 for each of these special objects. Epic came out in the middle without telling Apple and Google that they essentially had their own store where you could get it for like $7.99 instead of the $9.
So they undercut Apple.
So they undercut Apple, but they had this all planned. So with the alleged court district in California, Epic and Apple are both filing for $700 million lawsuits against each other, saying that each of the companies, so Apple's is saying that Epic didn't allow them to get the money because they had their own store, and essentially Epic is saying, guess what, we're going to be suing you for the same amount because you guys have taken money from us that we didn't have it. Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So Project Liberty is the key that you're going to be hearing about in court. It's going to take their estimation 2 to 6 years. So let me ask you this. In 6 years from now, is Fortnite even going to be around?
I don't know.
It may be, but most games kind of fade out after 5 years, right?
Everything has a lifespan.
Yeah, so by the time this is done, you're going to be still suing, and you're not even having any money
People
decided.
still play Halo.
That's true. That's a good game, though.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Too bad Microsoft can't figure out how to do the next one. All right, but if you want to watch the CEO Tim Cook testify and other high-ranking officials for the Apple side of the lawsuit, starting on YouTube May 3rd, you will be able to listen into the courtroom and listen to the audio.
Oh,
it's a made-for-TV movie, right? It's a made-for-stream.
It's probably going to be as good as the OJ trial.
That's right. So you got Apple and Epic, and you're
Maybe they'll bring back
going to go
the
to a
dancing
Google
Enos.
a Google platform. YouTube is going to be the one that's making money. All right, story number 2.
Okay, somebody, and then they're going to sue.
Yeah,
then they'll sue.
That's right. Story number 2, an Italian man offered $10,000 in Bitcoin to maim his ex-partner.
Yeah, I remember that.
Here's another dumb criminal story. So it looks like a plot from a contemporary thriller. Italy's Postal and Communication Police said in a statement, the suspect, a 40-year-old IT expert. Well, listen, he's not an IT expert because we're going to talk about
because he got caught.
No, he's an IT idiot. So a 40-year-old IT idiot from the northern region of Lombardy is allegedly going on the dark web some months ago after the relationship broke up in July of 2020. Essentially, the police said in statements that he visited a dark web website that essentially wanted to pay to have the idea of an attack on his ex-girlfriend to look like a robbery, and essentially paid it through a public traded Bitcoin process. So let me see how he was traced. Now let's talk about this. He used the Tor network, which is okay to you. He used Tor, which is a private network. We talked about that on TechTime Radio.
Right.
We also talked about the dark web and having be able to monitor stuff. But let me tell you how Bitcoin works. So Bitcoin is a publicly traded stock process. So unlike what people think, some people think that there's anonymity when you're using Bitcoin. But every single transfer that you do on Bitcoin
is tracked
and is publicly posted.
Yeah.
So if you're sending from an account, let's say like Coinbase, right? So I got a Coinbase account. It's a publicly traded. They know what my IP address is or my cryptocurrency address is when I send stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to send it to a known hacking criminal group publicly, and you're going to use your public information to send that thing, then you're not a very good ITP person. You should know
he was not in his right mind.
Well, no, but you cannot. Let me tell you, people trading Ethereum, Bitcoin, anything, all of that is publicly posted.
Yeah.
So if you're still trying to do illegal stuff,
I guess
don't do that. Go to a
he-
broker. What you're supposed to do on the illegal stuff is you're supposed to use a
you
broker.
He was, yeah.
You go to a broker, you pay the broker. Nobody knows what it is.
Went to a bar.
Yeah, well, it's unbelievable. All right. Oh, Mike. Okay,
You're
I'm getting the five.
You're getting the
finger salutes.
salute.
All right, here we go. Last thing. eBay cuts listing time in half for trading cards, and this one I like specifically. We're going to go to an audio here real quick and take
Creating a listing for a collectible card will be as easy as scanning the card with a cell phone. eBay sellers will be able to scan trading cards with eBay's app for iOS and Android and list the trading cards in about half the time as it normally takes. At launch, the new tool will support Magic the Gathering cards. Then in May, it will expand to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, followed by sports trading cards and other collectible cards later this year.
That shows you what's selling faster.
So let me just tell you, right now, over the last year, there are an average of 119 trading cards listed per minute on eBay. There's over 41 million trading cards listed on eBay in the last 2 years, and there are an average of 90 cards sold per minute on eBay. And I know this because
you do it.
I have just done this. And you know what? This is going to be great because this new scanning tool will actually then grade your card so the person buying it will know whether it's mint, near mint, bad, or not taken care of. So we're very excited about that. That will save me at least a little bit of time or have to refund somebody when I said near mint on my eBay posting, and he said it was lightly played, which I had no idea on Magic. That there
really?
was different. Yeah. So it was like some guy, I reimbursed him $5 and said, there you go. All right, well, that is it. Please check out our stories. Go to techtimeradio.com. Click on the facts section so you can check out in detail more. We have our first commercial break, and we'll see you guys right after this.
Did you know that up to 12 to 15% of Americans grind their teeth at night while they sleep? Yeah, it's called Bruxism. I used to work at a sleep lab, and we used to measure that, and it leads to a lot of problems like headaches and destroys your teeth. It wears down the enamel, and it's just very hard on your mouth.
So every once in a while I'll wake up, my jaw will hurt. Do you think I'm grinding my teeth at night?
Yep.
Well, so how do you go about protecting this then?
The number one recommended way of protecting yourself from teeth grinding is what's called a night guard, which is a custom fitted prosthetic that you put inside your mouth. It usually runs, hundreds of dollars, but I know our sponsor, Smile Brilliant, can get you custom fitted night guards for as little as $45 a piece.
So if you go to smilebrilliant.com and use TechTime Radio at checkout, you can receive 20% off your complete order. So visit smilebrilliant.com and use the TechTime Radio at checkout code. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Have you heard about 180 Consulting?
No.
I love these guys. You know how much I avoid working with copy vendors, right?
Actually, I get to hear about it all the time.
Not anymore, because guess what? The guys at 180 Consulting took over the entire process. They assessed our needs, worked directly with the vendors on my behalf, and helped us understand our option. No sales fluff, just good information so we can make the right decision.
Well, that sounds good. How do they get paid?
Their only compensation comes from a small share of the cost savings they create. They work for us, and it's a win-win.
That sounds like a no-brainer.
There's two ways to reach them. You can get them at info@180-consulting.com or visit them online at www.180-consulting.com.
www.180-consulting.com.
Thank you, Mike. 180-consulting.com.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Pager, host of An Informed Life Radio. In an age when the term misinformation is used to silence criticism and debate about COVID-19, vaccines, and more, we're bringing you doctors, lawyers, and scientists to discuss the missing information about your health and medical freedom. An Informed Life Radio airs right here on KKNW every Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. We're starting a real health revolution, one conversation at a time. Join us.
We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday there, and we have been sipping a little Redemption Rye Whiskey batch, number 258. All these batches are very important for this Redemption Rye. 92 proof, $32 plus for each bottle if you can find it. So that's the $32 price, but it's a waiting list to get this. Our distributor, my uncle, he brings over all of the whiskey that I have, and so he's my crutch. But he loves this, and he was waiting to get this. And what do you think of the taste?
Well, as we know, I'm not a big fan of rye, but this is really tasty.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have a.
Obviously, somebody celebrated already.
That's right.
I'm not a cat.
You're not a cat. It's got a slight mint finish. Great sipping and mixing in a classic cocktail like an old fashioned. And I think Manhattan. You know what? I got a buddy. He says, I got to try a bunch of these old-fashioned stuff because it's like simple syrup. And I've always just drank whiskey straight, but I may
do that.
I may have to try to do a little bit more and expand my palate a little bit. So,
Maybe.
All right. Okay, well, we have our first segment with Gadgets and Gear. We have our special guest, Gwen Way, is joining us all the way from Shoreline, Washington.
all the way from Shoreline, huh?
All right. She is a producer of our show. That's right. So far away. And we enjoy Gwen. Gwen's been a part of our show. She comes to all of our meetings, and she keeps us on the straight and narrow. So we enjoy her being back. Now,
Is
Gwen,
that what she does?
Yes. You have a new Gadget and Gear, and I am very excited about this. Can you explain in your Gadget and Gear segment what you found, what you got taken care of, because this is going to be something of a life changer.
What Nathan isn't paying for.
Well, no, Nathan is going to buy lots of these. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Nathan hadn't already stocked up on this.
Yeah. I did look at him after you showed him.
We already know he's going to.
It's going to happen. I mean, it's a guarantee. So one of the very first things that happened when I started working for Nathan was he purchased me a Raspberry Pi and said, do something fun with this.
Yep.
It's one of my fondest memories. It was just a blast. So I know that Nathan is interested in this product simply for that fact.
Absolutely.
Mike, we've had conversations both on the air and off about how you're not really a huge fan of Google Home or Alexa or any of those little devices that spy on you.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I have an Alexa.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've gone out and I've found something that works for both of you to take care of all of that.
All right. What?
We've got a lovely screenshot right now. And for those of you who are just listening, I'm going to suggest that you take the next 2 minutes, park, and pull up Twitch TV/TechTime Radio. Because what you're seeing right now is the absolutely beautiful Lumi Cube.
I'm feeling drawn back into the 70s.
Dude, it's got like colors it's switching over from pinks to purple.
It's like a modern day lava lamp.
Oh, it is. And
really
or it could be a Rubik's Cube, but you'd have a lot of stickers you'd have to pull off.
Yeah, it's like Rubik's Cube and lava lamps had a little illegitimate love child.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's cool.
Loving,
There you go. So tell us about
we all
this.
need a little loving.
Exactly. So the beautiful thing about this is that not only do you get these gorgeous lights, but you have the ability to build your own home speaker system. It can play music for you. It can take the place of Alexa, and you program it.
So how does this work? How does this work then?
So basically what you do is you purchase this kit, and I'm going to try to very slowly scroll up on here. I'm hoping that nobody gets motion sickness as they're watching this. Exactly. We'll get back to the pretty here in a little bit.
Okay.
But what I want to do is scroll up here and just basically let you see the name of the project, which is LumiCube.
LumiCube. Okay.
And what you do is you get this kit that includes all of the exterior things that you can see, the LEDs. It has a speaker, a microphone, and it gives you the instructions to program the Raspberry Pi.
Oh, sweet.
So that it can be whatever you want it to be.
Oh, so this is it's kind of like a STEM kit. So
it could
kind of
very
like a
well
dev kit.
Yeah.
And then does the Raspberry Pi go in the middle of this device then?
Exactly. The Raspberry Pi goes into it. You can see in the picture here that there's the cord going out. That's the power cord from the Pi itself. Okay. And you have the opportunity here, if you don't have a spare Raspberry Pi or, in Nathan's case, 30 sitting around at home.
We got two out today cleaning up I was downstairs cleaning up my little spare room, and my son pulled out 2 Raspberry Pis and put them on the shelf. He said, "Here you go, Dad." I said, "Oh, those are important because one's got my retro games on it and one's got my other retro games on it." So, okay.
And your emulator is amazing. So definitely don't use that one, but maybe take one of the other ones and put it in here. This would be an excellent gift for any teenagers or even, middle schoolers that are looking to get into technology. This is a great way to start them on development. This is a great way to get them started on coding. And it's a good time for just about anybody, honestly.
Now, does it have the Raspbian OS that you have to use to configure this? Do you know that? Or what type of OS are you going to configure in this Raspberry Pi with the box with that?
I believe that the base kit comes with the Raspbian, but I have absolutely no doubt that if you have a preferred Raspberry Pi OS, you can use it on this.
Perfect.
Can I set it up so that Alexa has something to talk to when I'm not there?
If you want to set up on a date, it could be a very successful process for you there.
I bet you could program it. I guarantee you could. You could program it to say, "Hey, sure. Alexa," and then you could just ask it questions.
And they just have a conversation back and forth.
Because, my computer and Alexa will randomly go off sometimes. They'll just say, "Whoa, what can I help you with?"
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. That's because they're listening to you.
That's because they're
all the time. All the time. But they say they don't. But
I'm very polite. I'm always polite and say, "No, there's nothing I need right now. Thank you."
I'm
Does he say thank you back?
I say thank you.
Yeah, sometimes.
I say please, and
yeah. I think it's kind of weird that I actually respond to a electronic thing
so we have an Alexa
polite
downstairs in our main room, and what I do is anytime we're watching a movie or somebody, I'll say, "Hey, bring up whatever actor it is and tell me what was his last movie, or tell me how old he is." Or so I literally use it now as my trivia game to know what I'm looking at. And
I do it for word definitions and
totally
random stuff. I make her do photon.
You should ask her
photon torpedoes.
You should ask her who Nathan Mumm is. She comes back and tells you.
Will she
pulls
cuss
up
at
the
me?
Wikipedia
No. Yeah, she does. She does a little bit.
She'll cuss at me?
No, she won't cuss at you. I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Alexa knows who I am."
She tells me the weather. I say thank you, and she's very
all right. So how
polite.
much is this device? This looks awesome, Gwen. This is phenomenal. I am definitely gonna get one.
Yeah, you already have. You already
great toy. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So the base cube is 85 pounds, which is coming out to about $115 right now.
Okay.
which is not a bad price given everything that you get.
You get a screen, you get the programmable LEDs.
You get the LEDs, a speaker, a microphone. You can purchase a Raspberry Pi through them. It comes out to about 50 pounds or $60 US, give or take. Or you can just buy a Raspberry Pi off, Amazon for about the same amount.
Yep.
So $200, I can have this thing up and running.
Yep.
Exactly. You have a fully customized gadget. You can make its trigger word whatever you want. So you could go full Star Trek The Next Generation and just say computer. If you want.
Yeah, my mind just went way over here.
Are you still stuck on the subject matter of the artist? Is that what?
No.
All right.
I'm just thinking about every time I cuss or something, it could just go off.
Have a profanity word?
Yeah, it's just a profanity.
Like,
thing.
It could work. Yeah. It could work for you.
I hear you're upset. What can I help you with?
How can I help you?
And so this device is called again. What is it called?
It's called LumiCube. LumiCube. I have posted the link over at the Facebook group Tech Timers. So
Perfect.
if you were not able to pull over for the twitch.tv/TechTime Radio, you can pick it up there as well. And of course, you'll be able to see video of the day or VOD on Twitch TV for some time to come. So if you want to catch back up and see us again, you certainly can.
Absolutely. Go to twitchtv.com/TechTime Radio, youtube.com/TechTime Radio, facebook.com/TechTime Radio, instagram.com /TechTime Radio, twitter.com/TechTime Radio, techtimeradio.com. Those were all the
TechTime Radio.
We are everywhere.
That's right. We are everywhere. So, Gwen, this is fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, you need to go enjoy some beer with your husband. I know that you guys are craft makers. So, do you have any special beer that you guys are going to be having later on this afternoon?
Well, we have been working on a new IPA using some hops that we picked up from you last year.
Okay.
We had a few leftovers
in your backyard.
Yeah,
exactly.
I got hops. Yep.
We threw in a couple of the dried peppers that you gave us as well, so it should be a spicy IPA.
Oh, I need to have one of them. They make some of the best beers, so her husband is fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining the show. Have a great day, Gwen, and we will see you again in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
All right, great.
Bye.
So I'm going to have to grab one of those boxes. Raspberry Pi fits in the middle of it. It's like a Rubik's Cube.
We all know you already have one on order.
Maybe. So after Gwen sent that link out. So it's the Lumi box.
LumiCube.
LumiCube under Kickstarter if you want to get that. We will also have a link at techtimeradio.com when our show gets rebroadcast on Monday.
Of the 70s and the 80s.
It's just very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Well, when we come on back from our commercial break, we have the topic that we're going to be talking about is our companies using software that is a racist algorithm to detect faces. We'll see you guys right after the break. I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday and David behind the board. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever wanted to expand your coding experience?
No, I'm not in the spy business.
No, not spies, but actual coding for games or coding for JavaScript and other cool website enhancements.
I work with a lot of people who want to break into that field.
You know what? There's a guy that I'm really excited about. His name is Morgan Page, and he's actually developed a whole series at morganpage.teachable.com. Again, that's morganpage.teachable.com that essentially has created lessons that allows you to learn coding.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good resource.
And he's worked with us to get a TechTime Radio code that gets you 20% off your purchase. So if you're looking at doing a $10 deal or 20% off, man, you're getting it for like $8. Unbelievable price. Great training that's available. Again, check him out at morganpage.teachable.com and use the coupon code TechTime Radio, and you'll receive 20% off.
All right.
Enjoy your coding adventure.
Hey, honey, did you hear what I heard?
What's that, babe?
I heard Mike over there at TechTime Radio. He's like battling he's in the like that the swimming with the sharks in that singles arena, if you will. You know?
Oh, bless his heart. And I also heard, like you did, that maybe things aren't going so great. You know what he needs, babe?
I think he needs to spend a little time in Love Shack.
Yeah, Love Shack. The Love Shack that airs every Thursday at 1 p.m. PST on KKNW 1150.
Come on, Mike. Come on over and join join us. We got you.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, have you heard about the new app called Tiki?
Just the one you've been talking about that's like a torch?
That's correct. This is like a torch. This is going to light you up. Did you know that companies made $382 billion from your data last year? This app called Tiki allows you to choose what data you share with what companies. And you know what? You get paid for sharing your information. You just link your accounts in the app and you get a payout. Tiki is completely free to use and is available worldwide, so you can start earning today.
Cool. Where do I sign up?
There's limited spots, but here at TechTime Radio, we got you hooked up. All you got to go is to mytiki.com/TechTime Radio. Again, that's mytiki.com/TechTime Radio. Tiki has just launched, so sign up now. Once you sign up, you'll be sent a link to download the app and start using it. So save your hard-earned information and turn it into cash. Everything will be lit up.
Can you sum this up for me?
As it stands, businesses buy tons of data directly from services such as Facebook, Google, Amazon, etc. With Tiki, business can still gain valuable insights, but you're in control of the sale.
Cool. Where do I sign up?
mytiki.com/TechTime Radio. Again, that's mytiki.com/TechTime Radio, and the Tiki will be lit for you. All right, welcome back to TechTime Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. How was that whiskey during the break there, Mike?
Oh, it took the pain out of that commercial.
It took the pain out of that commercial?
What's become my favorite commercial in a big hurry.
You'll
you'll hear Mike twice on Thursday now because he'll call into Love Shack.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, how about that?
All right.
I'm not even. Never mind.
All right. Okay. Well, welcome back. The whiskey was great during the break. Just think, wouldn't it be perfect if we almost had an additional hour so we could spend time to dive into these these stories and understand each of these with some editorial comments behind them? Wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that be great? Wink, wink.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Here we go. Maybe something will happen in the future.
Maybe something will happen
in May. All right. Okay. Here we go. An article published by Motherboard this week. Oh, hang on.
Did you drop a date there?
I did. Maybe in May. Did you like it? All right. Let's start our next segment. Well, I was just getting really excited about it. I went right into the read area, which is called our Technology Insider.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right. In an article published by Motherboard this week, it outlines the claims that Proctorio. Is it Proctorio or Proctorio?
Proctorio.
Proctorio. Proctorio. Okay.
Krypton Phonics worked for you, didn't it?
That's right. Proctorio is using a racist algorithm to detect faces. Now, let me tell you first off.
You go to school right now, right?
I am. I'm going back
to do these.
I do. I have a proctor test where when I go and I take my exams, I wish I was much better at it because I'm so bad at these tests. I fail them quite a bit at the time, and then I pass them after a while.
Okay. But that's good to know.
I just want to let everybody know that I wish I was smarter than.
Are you using Proctorio?
Yes. Well, I'm not using Proctorio. No. So I go to WGU, and they have a different system that they have. But essentially, what it is when you're in an exam room, they look at you on the camera to make sure you're not cheating or using other screens or cutting and pasting anything, and so they literally watch you that 2-hour time to do that.
Is this a live person that does that?
It's a live person.
But this isn't, right?
This isn't. This is a signing service for high-end exams that a lot of other colleges use. And essentially, they have what they have claimed as a competitive advantage. They have one of the world's leading proprietary systems to scan the faces.
Called?
What's that?
Weasel words.
Yeah, you know what? When you say you have a proprietary algorithm, and you're using something that's a freeware version, what you do is you better have named that in your backend in-source company. You better have called it proprietary.
That's what these guys are getting accused of.
Yeah, that's what it is, and they've been proven to be not so honest. So Motherboard, a student researcher has reverse engineered the controversial exam software that essentially you go up to, you scan your face, and then it will allow you to take the test, and discover the tools from the infamous software is no longer being used as a proprietary system, but a common shareware version application that scans and fails to detect dark-skinned individuals. It will recognize white faces, but it will not recognize other faces for these tests.
That's not completely true.
Okay.
Right, because it actually misses every other face a percentage of the time too, but it does miss persons with a darker skin color more often.
That's correct, more often. So we'll get into that. Essentially, the software researcher, who happened to be a college student, says that he's proven that Proctoria's software is using a face detection model that fails to recognize black faces more than 50% of the time. Ashki Sistan recently published his finding in a series of blog posts. In them, he describes that he analyzed the code behind Proctoria's extension for the Chrome web browser and found that the file names associated with the tool's facial detection functions were identical to the published OpenCV and open source computer vision software library. So essentially, this is like freeware software to scan faces, and this company is using that freeware software.
And is it the freeware that's creating the problems?
So the freeware software is the one that
adaptation of it.
Nope. So the adaptation is, as much as they say they've adapted and done anything, they essentially have taken the code from OpenCV, and it's been proven because they've done a test back and forth, specifically with OpenCV models and the Proctoria's models, and it was exactly the same outcomes from both of the software tests itself. So he tested the model against images containing nearly 11,000 faces from the Fair Faces dataset, a library of images curated and contained labeled images representative of multiple ethnic and races. The model failed to detect faces in image labeled, including black faces, 57% of the time. Some of the failures were glaring. The algorithm detected a white face, but not a black face, posed in a near identical position in the same image. So if you had a picture of a white person and a black person.
Yeah, this is in the same image, right?
In the same image.
Is the thing set up to detect multiple images?
It is.
That was the first question that popped into my mind.
So it is supposed to detect multiple images. Okay. So it should see two faces, and it should put a blue window in each of the faces.
Like your camera does.
Yes, but it does not. And so two women standing next to each other, both smiling. The woman on the left was a white, has a blue box imposed around her, and the black woman on the right does not.
Right.
Both had a nice smiling face, easy to recognize. You can actually take a look at a picture on TechTimeRadio.com. You can see the picture itself when you click on the link. The pass rate for other groups were better, but still far from the state of the art system that it promised it to be. The model test failed to detect faces in 40% of the images containing Middle Eastern faces, 40% of them containing white faces, 37% containing East Asian faces, and 35% containing South Asian and Indian faces, and 33% containing Latino faces.
Right.
Black students were described how frustrating the anxiety is during this test, because what will happen is this software will work to begin the test, but then all of a sudden what it'll do is it'll say that you're not
present,
that you're not present, and that you're not the person that you originally scanned in, and it will then fail the test and essentially end it right there on the spot.
Oh, that's just awesome.
So what happens is most of the time these individuals are concerned, specifically East Asian faces and black faces, that during the test, if they move too much or if the lighting changes, that they could immediately fail the test. And it's known on college circles to have bright light and to not move, which adds additional anxiety
stress
to the test itself. So, first off, Proctoria, if you say that you're going to have a proprietary system, you shouldn't be using open code source that everybody else has access to. So that would be step number one. Now, when they were asked to comment on this, Proctoria said that they have they denied to make any comments other than to share their user agreement acceptance that said that they use open source coding.
So they acknowledge that they use that.
They acknowledge they use it
only after
pestering, but not that their proprietary great system that they brag about has any altercations to it at all.
Weasel words.
Yeah, so they didn't take care of it. So let's talk about it. So that has to be frustrating, right? I mean, if you're in the middle of a test, you scanned in on the software, which is open source, which that means it's free. So there's not a lot of development work taking care of it. I mean, that's the whole idea about open source, is it's free code. And the idea of open source is you're supposed to take it, customize it, normally pay for that licensing at the open source, whoever originally created it, and then have it as your own itself.
Mm-hmm.
But they decided not to do any of that.
They just threw it in there and said, go.
And they just threw it in there and said, go. And now students are taking these tests.
And now they have a proprietary blend of spices and things.
That,
like 11
herbs and spices that aren't really there, and essentially having each of these people take care of it. So that is, man, if I only had another additional hour to talk about this.
If only we had another hour.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that ends our Technology Insider. We are going to be coming on back from our commercial break, and we're going to have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment presented by StoriCoffee. And then we're going to have a little Nathan Nugget that I'm going to throw in there, too. And we will see you.
Bag on Tom Brady.
Well, no. I think he won the Super Bowl. We're not bagging on him.
We're going to bag on.
All right, here we go. We're going to go to a commercial break. We'll see you right after this. Thank you, guys.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. StoriCoffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at StoriCoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at StoriCoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data right at your fingertips and with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. The new Pulse device from Vivomi continuously tracks your EKG and displays this data on your mobile phone. Have you ever wondered how your EKG and heart rate behaves when you're exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or just getting the kids ready for school or relaxing at home? The Pulse is a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivomi.com and ordering your device today.
Upper Left Corner is a PNW true crime podcast now streaming on all major podcast platforms. If you get excited when your favorite true crime podcast tells a story about a place that you've been to or the town that you live in, then Upper Left Corner podcast is for you. Each week, I tell you a story of a crime that has taken place in the PNW and give you background about the town the crime occurred in. If you like true crime, check out Upper Left Corner podcast, now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and more.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanley.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is the David music pick set. You like this, don't you?
I do.
You do. This is
I do.
David behind the board.
I haven't had a lot of problems with most of the music.
Most of the music. All right, there we go. All right, well, welcome back to TechTime Radio. I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Micro Day here, David Brown behind the board.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into our mesmerizing moment, Mike's mesmerizing moment, I want to drop in a little Nathan Nugget. So let me tell you about NFTs. Now, we draw an NFT and we sell an NFT after every episode. So if you go to OpenSea.io and you just type in the word TechTime Radio, you can actually bid on our NFTs that we have up there, and people are excited about.
They've got Mike's Doodle of the Day.
Mike's Doodle of the Day, and you can have a 1-in-1 copy. We will never replicate that again, and you can have a digital copy in an Ethereum H275 protocol that have it available. Do you have the Doodle done,
yeah,
Mike? You want to put it up there?
Doodle, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Where's the camera?
There you go. Put it in the main
there
camera. There you go. Perfect. All right.
That's
well, guess what? Hall of Famer Tom Brady is launching a non-fungible token platform with Apple Eddie Q landing on the company's advisory board. So let me take it. Gronk already posted on the NFT.
Yeah.
So now he's a Super Bowl winning champion. I picked him to win the Super Bowl. Congratulations. Setting to launch in spring of 2021. Autographed the quarterback's non-fungible token
like
platform.
A desperate grasp.
Brady will be teaming up with big names in sports, entertainment, fashion, and pop culture to develop an NFT digital collectibles.
Knock it off.
As reported, CNN says that this high-profile team will probably be able to take care of it and become one of the NFT crazes starting in March. Our big month is May, but I don't want to say why it was May. But
yeah, but you know there's a better Brady out there than Tom, right?
Oh, who's that, David? Who's that?
That would be his niece, Maya Brady, who is a starter on the second-ranked UCLA softball team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she should be doing NFTs, not him.
She should be doing NFTs.
Yeah, she should.
Well, what is Tom Brady going to do with NFTs? He's going to make another $50 billion on NFTs.
I get really peeved by these people. These
NFT stuff? You're an NFT superstar.
Not the NFT stuff. I'm talking about people that have a name they just do this stuff just because they know.
All right, well, let's start our Mike's Mesmerizing moment, and you can talk more about it then, maybe. Here we go. Let's go right to our Mike's Mesmerizing
I'm going to talk about something else.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing moment, presented by StoriCoffee. Visit StoriCoffee.com.
Yeah, see, I'm going to talk about this algorithm stuff some more.
Okay.
Because I've talked about it on my podcast twice. We've talked about it here on the show. This stuff, I don't know if we should be as disturbed by it as we are, but there's a problem because human beings are automatically going to be biased.
Okay.
And when you have a programmer that's programming the algorithms to detect these facial features,
yep,
they're unconsciously going to go with what they believe to be true. And that doesn't necessarily make it a huge thing. It just means that we need to be more careful about how we go about doing this. Okay. I mean, because like I said, this program is showing that it has trouble connecting to all faces.
Yep.
And
that happens when you open source too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they said that
the interesting thing is that the least amount of problems works with Latin and Asian people. So that kind of tells me that probably some Asian or Latin people were involved in the development.
Yep.
Right? That's not necessarily true, but that's what it looks like.
Okay.
And I'm making an assumption, which is what we do.
Yep.
We make assumptions, and it just needs to be fixed.
Okay.
That's really what this needs to be.
You shouldn't be having to take a proctor test, right?
I have problems with this all over the place. The fact that I didn't have to do any of that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I mean, I did school the other way. But I feel for folks that have to sit in front of a freaking camera and get dinged on whether or not they move because it's discriminatory in itself. Because some people are fidgety, and if they're getting docked points or they're getting problematic responses from that, that's discriminatory because it's not taken. And that's the problem with this whole thing is that people who are programming these algorithms do not have the subtleties of human behavior down, and I don't even know if they can program the subtleties of human behavior.
I would think not.
Because a lot of this stuff is contextual, and a lot of this stuff is you don't really realize a lot of stuff unless you study human behavior.
Correct.
And a computer programmer does not study human behavior.
No,
so when
they study code.
Yeah, they study code. And so when you got somebody that says, okay, and I'd use this one all the time because this is the one that I noticed most of is that, if you raise your eyebrows, that means surprise.
Yep.
And that's not the case in almost every time. It's contextual. If I say, Nathan, I hate your guts, and your eyebrows go up, that's surprise. But if you're talking to me and your eyebrows go up, that's just you. Your facial responses are accentuating your speech patterns. So it's not surprise. And that's the problem. And then when we say it's surprise, we automatically get an idea of what it should mean, and then we place judgment and value on that.
Well, you know what? Tom Brady must move his eyebrows up and down.
Yeah,
he's now creating an NFT.
Yeah, Tom Brady needs to, get something else.
What are you talking about?
I just think,
he's probably going to sell NFTs of emails.
I have a problem with people using their names to just get money, and that's what he's doing.
Okay.
This doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Hey, don't be jealous because he's got so many Super Bowls.
Yeah, he's probably going to do it while he's at those UCLA softball games, too.
That's right. Okay.
Let other creators get on there. Don't.
So, you know what? You are all out of Redemption Rye Whiskey batch.
Yeah.
Number 258, 92 proof, $32.
I'm all warm all inside.
Are you warm all inside? Are you
yeah.
feeling good? So is it a thumbs up?
It's a
or
thumbs
is it,
up.
Is it thumbs up?
Yeah.
I'd say two a thumbs up,
And
actually.
this is good because I'm not a real fan of rye whiskey.
Technology news
I
of the
may
week.
have to wait a while before I leave the
After we
studio.
go to do our wrap-up show down at the restaurant. That's going to be a little
It's
bit...
good stuff.
All right, we got our NFT that will be posted online. You can find out more about us at techtimeradio.com. Maybe we got some news to tell you about in the upcoming weeks. We are excited to be here. I am Nathan Mumm. We got David Brown, Mike Roday. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guest, and caller.